Ilang mga role sa pelikula. Ritz, let's start with you. Your role, please.
Ako si Karina dito, asawa ng character ni Jake na si Alexis. Isang mapagmahal na asawa at anak. I'm sure magugulat kayo sa character ko. Hindi ko pa alam paano sasabihin, pero sana mapanood nyo. Sa unang mga eksena pa lang, magugulat na kayo.
Ako naman, ang role ko dito si Yvonne Acosta, director po ako ng PIDEA. Magaling ako dito sa hand-to-hand combat. Nag-training ako. So, ayun. Yung character ko dito, mabilis ako magtiwala to the point na medyo naive na. So, ayun. Hindi naman ako kontrabida dito. So, ayun. Thank you.
Ako po si Jessica Puyat. I'm a call center agent. And may anak ako, I'm a single mom, and meron din po ako, kasama ko din po ang nanay ko. I'm also, on the side, I'm a drug pusher and drug addict. No naman addict, but drug user. So, pero hindi ko siya ginagawa dahil gusto-gusto ko siyang gawin. And addicted ako. Ginagawa ko siya to provide for my family. Kasi, yun nga, kailangan ko may extra income. So, ganun din yung contradiction sa life or sa puso ni Jessica na gagawin ko ba ito o hindi at kung ano yung tama. Dahil gusto ko lang naman makapag-provide at mabigyan ng magandang buhay ang pamilya ko.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris. Jake?
Yeah, ako naman dito si Alexis Bernal, isang anti-EJK advocate para nagpuprotesta hanggang sa nangyari hindi naasahan sa pamilya ko na nangyari sa harapan ko. And at that point, nag-decide ako sumali ng PIDEA. Pero for the wrong reasons kasi parang kung gusto kong hanapin ng umapema, pumatay sa pamilya ko. So yun yung journey yung character. Yun po.
Thank you, Jake. Patty?
Ako po dito si Jerwin, user and drug addict.
Short and sweet. Short and sweet lang, ha? Short and sweet. Ayaw nang spoil ni Patty.
Ako po si Paolo, I'm addicted to drugs. Dating ko Ako po dito sa movie, ako si Monster. Lahat ng hindi inaasahan na mangyayari ni Jake sa character niya dahil sa akin.
Oh.
So yun. Pero hindi sa akin nagtatapos yun. Yun naman yung part ng movie na mag-unveil naman. Hindi sa akin hindi sa amin magtatapos ang buong story. It's a much bigger story. Yeah, so yun.
Thank you, Paolo. Okay. May question na tayo from our media friends. Let's start off with...
Can I just call one of the main cast then is here already? Sorry to interrupt your lunch, but John Point is here. He came all the way from Tagaytay.
Senyor, kaya pa.
He plays Congressman Quijano. Nandito may chair na dito. Yeah, bati ko.
Good afternoon po. My name is John Cuenca and I'm an alcoholic. Ay, hindi pala to.
Iba.
Sorry. Iba pala to.
Kahapon yun!
Narehab na po. Seriously, good afternoon. My name is John Cuenca. Kaya ko nang sabi ni Direk, kakagaling ko lang sa Tagaytay. Buti pinayagan ko ako ng ABS na matapos kagad yung exam today. So, I'm playing Congressman Anton Quijano. I'm one of the staunch oppositionists ng Presidente. But I have my own ideals and my principles na pinaglalaban ko palagi. And I'll do it in any way that I can. And I'll fight for the right of people of the Philippines. Some kind of like that.
Alright, salamat po. Ito na, first question mula kay Kuya Ricky Lo.
Hi, Nigel or Neil or whatever.
Both is correct. Thank you, Tito Ricky.
Yeah, could you tell us more about yourself? Kasi karamihan dito sa amin, parang bago pa. Could you give us a little background about yourself aside from being a Palakpa winner and how you got involved in this project?
Actually, I'm a multifaceted guy. A lot of people call me a Renaissance artist because I'm a production designer. Ako one of the protege of Salvador Bernal. I just have to mention that because he's one of my mentors in production design. And I won a lot of Best Male Host in Aliw Awards, and then I'm also a singer-songwriter. I'm currently a board of directors of PhilSCAP, along with sila Rico Blanco, si Sir Ramon Chuaing din. I'm also a part of the board of the awards, and I'm also with MTRCB, one of the board of directors of MTRCB, and one of the directors in PACCOR. So aside from that, we also do projects with the ANR, and I sing, I dance, I beatbox, I play 16 musical instruments, I breakdance, and tumatanggap din po ng labata at Notary Public. Yun po.
And could you explain the spots under your eyes? Kasi parang nakaka-curious yung mga tao. What does it mean?
Thank you for asking it. Coming from you, it sounds so profound when you ask that. So I'm going to answer that with a decent question. For the first time in my life, I will answer that with a decent and the right answer, to tell you the truth. No? Usually when people ask me that, it's superficial. So I just perfunctorily would say, it's branding. So people would remember me. But actually, I have a foundation for the poor. We grant free performing arts classes to poor underprivileged street kids. And I've been doing that for many, many years. Even before Efren Peña Florida, who I really, really admire in what he keeps on doing. We've been doing that. We've been granting free performing arts classes to poor underprivileged street kids, drama, music class, and everything. Since I studied from power dance in Ballet Philippines and everything. So we did that in Payata, Smoky Mountain, in Nueva Ecija. And so when I started doing that, I was giving them jobs already because they were getting really, really good in performing arts. So I started putting them in shows in Cultural Center of the Philippines. And as you all know, the Cultural Center of the Philippines and the quote-unquote highbrow arts of theater, they don't pay much. Why? Because the audience needs to step up in admiring all these people. So hopefully, this is an advocacy also for people to support theater. And so what happened was, sabi ko, nangyayari dun sa mga bata is pinagbabawalan ng mga tao, ng mga magulang nila, wag na kayong tumuloy dyan sa pagsasayaw, pagkanta, pag-arte, wala kayong mapapala dyan. So nakaisip ako ng paraan. I have to engage and I have to be influential in the same way that I was influential in the cultural arts, in the Cultural Center of the Philippines. I have to be influential in the mainstream media. So in the mainstream film industry, television, broadcast industries. But syempre, ayokong lamunin ng sistema. So, these are art blocks. Ang eye blocks po, kapag nilalagay ng athletes, hindi sila nasisilaw sa ilaw. So this is the remembrance that every time I put on a show, it reminds me that hindi sana ako lamunin ng ilaw ng showbiz. Kasi po, and then I engage in being a singer-songwriter. And my friend here, Cesar Batingal, would attest to that because my songs are usually being played in Pinas and Wish FM. So yun po, naging singer-songwriter po ako. And then I kept on winning writing awards. And then I met these wonderful people who believed in me. Si Dr. James D, si Ramon Chuaing, and si Ma'am Kathleen Go, who's our associate producer as well. And si Peter Chan, who's... So now, I want those kids to have a livelihood in the main industry.
Okay, one more question for the members of the cast, from John to Paolo. What's your take on the President's anti-drug campaign?
Me personally, I'm all for it, because whether we admit it or not, in one way or another, affected tayo na dahil kung hindi man kapatid, kamag-anak, isang close natin, ang naapektuhan ng drugs. Kaya pagkagaya ko, meron po akong sabihin natin malapit sa akin na naapektuhan ito. Kaya ako okay sa akin yun eh. Sana na matulungan pa natin yung mga iba pang hindi pa na-reach ng program ng Presidente, na sana kung hindi man, sana lang walang masyadong pahilente mangyari. Pero kung yung totoong rehab na minanasa ng Presidente na gobyerno, so ma-reach natin yung mga taong affected by drugs. Sa akin, I'm also.
Kinabahan po ako, feeling ko nasa beauty pageant ako. Bumilis-debok ng puso ko. Tsaka medyo sensitive tong... Oo, world peace po tayo. Pero honestly, para sa akin po, totoo, kinabahan talaga ako, bumilis yung debok ng puso. Para sa akin, ang take ko po is, para sa akin bilang mga Pilipino at may presidente tayo, mas maganda siguro kung mag-unite tayo kung ano mas maganda at pinakatamang gawin. And lahat ng bagay, maganda man yan, lahat ng mga bagay, basta sumusobra, mali na. So ang views, parang kailangan natin siyang, para sa akin, kailangan natin siyang ihinto, kailangan natin siyang ayusin. So for me, kung ano man po ang decision or ang gusto ng ating presidente, ako po, susuporta ako kung ano yung sa tingin kong tama. I think so.
Ako din kinabahan. Oo, Diyos ko, kakatapos pa lang pa naman ng Pilipino. Diyos ko po. I supported President Duterte sa anti-drug campaign. Siyempre, di ba, ang dami ng mga news ngayon na ang daming, yung nakikita natin yung effect ng drugs sa mga tao. Kaya ako, so yun na lang, hindi ko na siya papahabain, basta support tayo. Thank you.
For me, siguro, I'm not gonna take any side, or can I just say that I'm in the middle? Because yung itong pro, I can say that I understand the lives of people who use drugs. Because sometimes may mga pinagdadaanan sila, or I'm not like 100% pero since I got this role of Jessica Puyat, somehow, may mga tao talaga na kailangan nilang gawin to para mabuhay or para makapag-provide sa family. May mga trabaho na hindi natin gusto pero kailangan natin gawin. So somehow, naiintindihan ko yun. But also, naiintindihan ko rin yung side ni President Duterte. It's because, tayo mga Pilipino, we have to be disciplined. Kailangan natin talaga ng tapang at ang presidente lang makakontrol sa atin. So somehow, can I just say that I'm in the middle of, I'm pro and I'm against. Sorry. Pro-con.
Jake, your turn.
Ako bilang Pilipino, bilang presidente natin si Duterte, kailangan natin sundan yung administration. Doon lang ako, kumbaga he's the president, ito yung batas, ito yung mga nangyayari sa panahon ngayon at kailangan natin sundan yun. Sa totoo lang, feeling ko, ako wala naman po ako talagang wala po akong masasabi about it kasi hindi naman po ako bumoto. So wala akong opinion whatsoever. Hindi yun nakatulong sa cause, hindi rin ako naman nakabawas sa cause. So for me, kung sino man na nakaupo bilang Pangulo, ito ang batas, ito yung gusto mangyari ng administrasyon, kailangan natin sundan yung bilang Pilipino. So, yun lang po.
For me personally, I think the addicted people have to be rehabilitated, they have to be helped, the dealers have to be jailed. That's just me now. Simple.
For me, kasi medyo apolitical na tao ako eh. Kasi madami akong kilala sa mundo na yan, medyo. So ako, ang tingin ko dyan, it's, tama si JK, parang pa-agree ako kay JK, it's kung sino yung kapitan ng bansa natin. Kung ano yung advocacy niya, yung paglalaban niya. Kaya kung naging presidente si Grace po, iba ang kanyang ipaglalaban. Diba? Hindi, it may not be war on drugs, pwede iba, socio-economic naman ang kanyang target. It would be the same passion, it would have the same effort. So I think that si Duterte ang presidente at war on drugs ang kanyang priority. Yun yung tatanggapin na lang natin. Pero sana, bilang mamayan naman, dapat on guard din tayo sa mga mali na nangyayari. We have to be vigilant also, and we also have to fight for our rights. And ang gobyerno nagtatrabaho para sa atin, hindi tayo nagtatrabaho para sa gobyerno. I thank you.
Thank you, Tito Ricky. Next question mula kay Rose.
Okay. Kay Jake muna. Jake, marami ka na nagawang movie. Anong difference nitong Kontradiksyon sa mga past movies mo? Anong bago na makakita din sa'yo dito?
Ang bago makikita sa akin dito, Una-una yung casting. Sabi ko nga, ito yung pagkakataon na hindi tayo mapapanood ng tao yung napapanood nila sa TV. Kumbaga ngayon ako na pinagsama-sama mula ABS kan GMA. First time din na makikita yung ganitong klaseng casting. So doon pa lang is something of a first. Para first time kami pinag-partner ni Chris. Kahit taga-ABS kami ni RITZ, first time namin pinag-partner din. Si Paolo, everyone taga-GMA, Katrina. Ha? First time namin nag-partner ni Paolo. Saya. First movie ni Patty. First movie ng Universal. Na maraming firsts, pero feeling ko tulad yan ang sabi ni Direk, socially relevant din yung topic na pinag-uusapan eh. Pero bukod naman sa pagiging parang socially relevant yung topic, entertaining din yung pelikula kasi isa tong action film, action drama film. So, bukod sa may matututunan ka, may entertain ka, pas makikita nyo visually sa pagdating sa pag-arte. So, yun po, sana po, June 26, kwartalo po.
Galing!
Okay. Kay Chris, kay Katrina, at saka kay Rich, ayun na, pinagsama-sama kayong tatlo talaga dito. So, I mean, ano yung role nyo dito na hindi ba kayo nagkasapawan or paano, kamusta?
Ako po muna. Parang malabo pong magkasapawan kaming lahat kasi hindi po kami nagka-eksena.
So, magkakaiba ang kwento,
Parang ang ka-eksena ko lang po dito si Jake and Paolo and Tito Levi. Ayun po.
So, lahat kayo may kaugnayan kay Jake, yung kayong tatlo.
Ako po, connected na connected kayo. Magkasawa po kami dito.
Okay, then si Chris.
Noong una ayoko mag-spoil masyado, pero noong una, well, hindi pa kami magkasama ni Jake dun sa first parts of the movie. But, yun, magkakasundo din kami. For some reasons. Pero wala kaming sapawan kasi hindi kami nagka-eksena. And feel ko naman, siguro naman, wala, may kanya-kanya namang acting. May kanya-kanyang moment din naman po.
Sikat.
Sikat sa pangawen. Yun na nga, hindi kami nagsapawan. Walang pagsapakan.
So, hindi ka kontrabida dito. Anong basically role ko dito?
Marami akong sinapak dito. And hindi nga talaga kami nagsapawan kasi hindi talaga kami, parang di tayo nagka-eksena ba?
Hindi, wala din.
Nagkikita lang kami sa shooting. Pero hindi kami nagka-eksena. Ang ka-eksena ko si Jake, madalas. Si Arnold, si Congressman, ayan. Sa PDEA kasi po ako eh. So, ayun. So, ito, kakaiba siya kasi, action. Di ba hindi naman ako nag-action sa TV? Matagal na yun, Darna. At saka eme action lang yun sa Darna. Walang training. Ang training nung sa set lang. Tapos, parang hindi ko maalam kung tama yung mga sunto ko dito. Pinag-training ako ni Direk. So, ayan. Sana, sinasabi magaling ka ba? Baka naman, kasi si Christine siya kasi Ann Curtis, magaling. Yun na nga po. Iniisip ko kung ipopromote. Siguro iniisip ko nga, ipopromote ko pa, nahihiya ako. Nakakabash. Balitaan niyo ako Huwag niyo naman ako masyadong i-judge, first time ko.
Action ka pala talaga dito,
Kinabahan actually nung in-offer sa akin ni Direk. Hindi ko siya tinanggap. Sabi ko, Direk, feeling ko, merong tao para dyan. Hindi ako, parang hindi ko nakikita sarili ko talaga. Kasi pag-aaralin niya ako ng MMA, mga Aikido, mga ganyan. Direk, parang hindi ako ganyan, hindi yan ako. Pero sobrang buo yung tiwala niya sa akin na naniniwala ako na kaya mo. So nahiya ako. Sabi ko, sige po, mag-attend ako ng training Tapos ayun, sana po okay naman, Direk.
Actually, I just want to brief the people because I think you're not aware of the main premise of the film. The main premise of the film is, it's a rather controversial premise. Jake is a human rights activist who turned into a PDEA agent who is a vigilante by night and who teamed up with a drug user and pusher who pushes drugs at high-end institutions and at the call centers. So in and out of itself, PDEA, human rights activist na naging PDEA, controversial na. PDEA na vigilante killer by night, controversial lalo, na nag-team up pa sa isang user at pusher sa call center. So yun po ang premise namin. Saya, di ba? So para malaman po ninyo where you can place them, kasi si Katrina is from PDEA, Director Acosta. And the reason why we casted her is because I don't think there's an actress who can fit the bill, who has that same stature. Kasi ang uso ngayon, di ba, Daenerys Targaryen na. Yung mga ganon, strong female characters. That's why we have KRIS and Katrina and RITZ. These are strong female characters and they can portray strong female characters then with gravitas. So yun.
Ang complex pala ng character ni Jake, no? Parang director, parang
Yes.
iba-iba yung...
And I think it's only Mr. Jake Cuenca who can do this, honestly. Who can do this role.
Parang kinukwento pa lang ni Direk yung premise na babalik na ako sa karakter ko.
There's one scene that you have to watch out for Jake Cuenca. This is one scene. Hindi ko talaga siya kinat. It's a long one-er take of just Jake Cuenca's face. I'm sure the girls would love the face. But the transition that happens from one emotion to the other, he shows 3 emotions in one clip, in one shot. 3 emotions, and you can see the actor's process in his head.
Right.
He's such an intelligent actor, actually. There was this one time that we had this very, very big scene that we had to sit down for 30 minutes and discuss what's going to happen, even though we've read the script. We had to discuss each other's motivations. It was a lengthy discussion. But I really loved the discussion because that means that this guy is so meant for Hollywood.
Wow! Reaction mo dun, Jake, sa mga feedback ni Direk sa acting mo?
Thank you. So, nagpapasalamat ako kay Direk kasi hinayaan niya ako eh. He let me and then we collaborated. And ako ay, sabi ko yung buong proseso ng pag-shooting namin, I enjoyed it. Kinabayan ni Direk yung premise kanina para akong may postpartum. Balik ako sa ito pinagdaanan ko sa pelikula. Pero nag-enjoy ako sa film na to. As an actor, sabi ko nung binasa ko yung script na to, sabi ko baka controversial yung topics nila, pero as an actor, it's a dream role of an actor.
Right.
Sabi ko, pag unang basa ko pa lang script, game na ako. Agad-agad, count me in. So ako nagpapasalamat lang ako for the opportunity, Direk. Thank you so much. Beth Films Universal, thank you so much for the opportunity at yung pagtitiwala ko. Maraming salamat.
Actually, mamaya meron tayong special preview ng ilang snippets daw ng mga scenes sa pelikula na before we end the Q&A, ipapakita natin. Pero Direk, I have a question, siguro sa cast na rin kay Direk, no? Parang the issue of war on drugs is so controversial na the nation is divided na against or pro, no? Are you ready for the feedback that the movie will receive?
Actually, it's weird eh. Kasi yung feedback na nare-receive ko, it's no secret that I support the president. It's no secret. But if people ask me if the movie is pro-administration, I think it's not. It's definitely not. Because the reason why I wrote the script is, I was just so excited that we live in a time wherein people are so divided and they bash each other on social media, and I wanted to encapsulate that emotion. And there's only one way that I can do that, is by giving voice to both those against it and those for it. So meaning to say, the movie is sabong.
Okay.
Sabi nga ni Direk, just add, sabi ni Direk, yung gusto lang namin, yung aspiration na namin sa film is lumabas ng tao na pag-usapan yung pelikula. Kasi talagang very fair for both parties.
By fair, do we mean did you have to consult PDEA on certain scenes? Did you have to do immersions?
We shot in PDEA.
Okay. Did you have to consult and talk to like the victims or drug users themselves and ask for
Actually, fascinating enough, we have drug rehabilitating patients who graduated who are in the movie.
Oh,
Sama. May patients at may PDEA din sa set.
Right.
Diba?
Kasi we had them sign waivers, of course, but they graduated from it.
Right.
And the graduation ceremony that you will be watching in the movie is an actual graduation in the rehab centers. So, we're showing also na hindi pinapatay yung mga addict at pusher dito kasi meron kami actual talaga eh.
Right.
But at the same time, we're showing different faces of it because at the end, the reason why I wrote this script is because can we just agree to disagree without being disagreeable to each other? Is it possible for us, when we discuss this issue, that we open our hearts and understand each other's opinions rather than bashing each other?
Right.
Kasi sometimes, even in opinions that separate us from, from each other, because we have strong opinions of it, no? Sometimes we just want to argue with another person so that we can convince the other person to go over to our side.
Right.
Instead of hearing out the other person and what the other person sees in his or her own perspective. So for me, the ultimate dream that I have for the film is peace. Sabi nga, di ba? World peace. Sabi nga ni RITZ AZUL, world peace.
Babalik tayo sa Pilipinas talaga. World peace talaga. I asked some of the press, they wanted to sit down with you sa round table dito, no? Parang instead of voicing their questions. Siguro last question ko lang before we wrap this up. Did I handpick ba ang cast mo dito? Or did they have to audition for their roles?
You know, it's so fascinating. For me, this is the work of God. I will not be coy about it. Can I tell them the plan before? I have to get approval from the bosses, they're done. So we wanted to, the Bell Films wanted to produce an action film with Robin Padilla attached to it. Okay? So we wrote a couple of scripts and drafts and stuff like that. And then it became a trilogy, and then it became a rom-com. And then Robin couldn't make it because he's doing Marawi or something.
Right.
He was busy with something else. It was as though God told me to write what's in your heart. So I was there in Milan and I wrote the reason why there's a character there, Destra in Sinistra, was because I wrote the script in Milan. I don't know why I had to say that. Because we're premiering in Milan. We're also bringing the movie in Milan.
Wow!
So maybe that's the reason why. So I wrote it there, and I wrote what's in my heart. So the central character is an anti-hero. It's so hard to cast somebody who can play both hero and anti-hero.
Bida kontra bida.
Then, when the script arrived, a lot of people liked it and stuff like that. And Elizabeth Oropesa said, tinanggap niya yung role dahil third sequence pa lang nalaglag na siya sa upuan niya. And then we were throwing names around, and then I was, of course, there was a short list, and I was saying Jay Cuenca is one of the best actors we have in this industry, and I think he fits the bill. But this is so different from the plans that we had before. This is going to be a complex character, and I think he's going to be able to do this. Because what's so fascinating about this guy is he's this dashing debonair, but he can also play the bad guy. But this movie is not being a bad or being good. This is a complex character talaga. So, when we first met, the sinabi sa akin ni Jake was like heaven sent. What he said was, direct nabasa ko na yung script, parang nocturnal animals. And I go like, yes!
Sige, wavelength kayo kaagad, ha?
Exactly. And I think there's nobody on this planet who can play the role except Jake Cuenca.
Wow.
You know what? During the shoot, you say before that it's a complex character, but it was like clockwork for this guy. Because he knows the character like the back of his hand.
Right.
And he knows the complexities. I don't know if a lot of people knows this, but Jake goes on a hiatus from showbiz just to study acting in New York every year, right? Every year.
Every other year.
Every other year. So yun. Si Jake, so I just gotta hand it to Jake. And for me, there's no other guy who can play this role because, can I just say something remarkable, but I don't know if it's going to be off the cuff. A lot of people, ang parate, tuturo din po ako ng acting workshops before sa ABS-CBN ever since I was in third year high school. It was with sila Ma'am Beverly Verhel pa. Parati ko sinasabi sa mga aktor ko na wino-workshop, bawal maging pangit. Ang ayaw maging pangit, pangit. So meaning to say, ang mainstream industry kasi natin is all about looking good in the camera, playing to the camera and stuff like that. Jake Cuenca has the looks. But Jake Cuenca is unapologetic with his looks. When you watch the film, it's unadulterated. Uhog kung uhog, iyak kung iyak. Walang makeup. Fight. Ganun si Jake Cuenca. I can extol the guy for so long because I think, it was really God sent that he was doing this role for us. So yeah.
Thank you, Direk.
Congrats doon pa lang Jake nasa excitement namin to see the film. And speaking of, we're gonna play some scenes. We're gonna play some scenes from the movie. Let's watch this.
Na lahat sa trailer, guess what? Yung mga tapon lang namin eksena, yun
Wow!
ang nilagay namin sa trailer.
Tapon pa lang pala yun.
Wala clips sa trailer na major scenes. Wala. As in, wala.
That's exciting. Alright? Palakpakan natin ang cast ng Kontradiksyon. Please invite everybody. Jake, go ahead.
Yes, sana po, tulungan niyo po kami i-promote yung pelikula namin, Kontradiksyon on June 26. Sa June 24 po, magkita-kita tayo sa premiere night. Maraming salamat po, Bell Films, Universal Records, maraming salamat, Direk, maraming salamat sa oportunidad. At yun, sana po tulungan niyo po kami, Kontradiksyon June 26. Sana po tulungan niyo kami. Thank you.
Chris?
Parang sinabi ni Jake. Pero thank you po. Tapos sasabihin mo nila maraming salamat po sa lahat po ng press na nandito po ngayon. Maraming salamat po sa oras ninyo. At sana po